Hey there, and welcome back. We're going to be talking about what kind of a life path number 6 are you? You need to understand that there's several different ways that you could be a life path number 6, and it is my job to make sure that you understand exactly what the heck you signed up for and what lessons you included into your life path number. So let's go and take a look at how this works. First of all, we want to talk about calculation methods. So to our left here, we see March 25th of 1959. That's my date of birth. And when we take all of those numbers and we add them straight across, as is quite common in numerology, it's going to come up to 34. And then 3 and 4 equals 7. All right, so this means that the sub-lessons that I would be learning would be related to the number 3 and also to the number 4. Well, I had trouble with that. I got it that I was a 7. I've always understood I was a 7 life path number. That speaks to me, right? But the 3 says that I agreed to come here to learn how to communicate, to express myself, to have a sense of humor. All those things, I've already got those things, so I didn't feel a need to really learn those things. And the 4 related to stability and process and focus and following a plan and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I got that. So that didn't make sense to me either. Now, I was introduced to this method over here by Matthew Oliver Goodwin's teachings. Okay, he was a master numerologist back in the 80s. Now, Matthew taught us to break down each component of the date of birth. His theory was that the day of birth is actually a core number. So we want that to stand out. We want that to shine. Okay. So in doing it his way, March becomes the 3, 25th day, add those two numbers together, 2 and 5, it comes to 7. 1959, break that down as well. That comes up to 24. And 2 and 4 equals 6. So now when we add the 3, 7, and the 6 together, 3 for March, 7 for the day, 6 for the year, it comes up to 16, 7. So you might say, well, what's the difference, Anne? It's still a 7, but it's a different kind of a 7. It's not a 34, 7. In this case, I would have to learn the lessons related to the 3, that's a sub-lesson, and the 4, okay? But doing it this way, I learned the lessons related to the 1, which is about independence. It's about leadership. It's about originality and creativity, confidence. All of those things I knew I had to learn. I could sink my teeth into that lesson. And then the 6 relates to the need for perfectionism. Oh my, I still work with that, right? So, and the perfectionism, it's also a sense of responsibility for everybody's stuff. You know, I'm feeling guilty for everything. I've had to really work hard on those lessons, so I get that. But I also understand further to that I'm a 16-7 life path, which means I also brought with me a karmic debt that I'm working on. So I'm not going to say that this way is the way that you have to do it. I'm saying that you have to try both ways on. As you learn sub-lessons, as you learn the value of the sub-lessons through my teachings, then you can kind of say, okay, this feels better to me. And I'm okay if it's adding all the numbers straight across, so long as you can identify with those sub-lessons, okay? Or adding it my way and identify with it that way. Either way is okay. It's just making sure that you feel it, that you really can kind of tap into those lessons. So here are your possibilities. You could be simply a 6 life path number, meaning you have no sub-lessons. Your date of birth just added up to a straight up 6. Perfect. Or you could be a 15-6, where your sub-lessons would relate to the 1 and the 5, or a 24-6, or even a 33-6, right? So you're not just a 6 anymore. Let's see what kind of 6 you are. So 6s, in general, need to learn how to be of service rather than risk being in servitude. The 6 has a tendency to measure their worth based on how much they can deliver, how much service they can be. So we want to, learn how to balance that out so we don't become a person who's acting out of servitude. We have to learn with the 6 energy to manage your need for perfectionism. All things are subjective, right? Your idea of perfection might not be somebody else's idea of perfection. Resist taking on more responsibility than is necessary. Guilty as charged, right? I got this lesson hardcore in my date of birth or my life path number. I understand it really well. So we have to resist that temptation to be the one that steps in for everything. Step away from the family drama. This is very common for 6s. Tapping into their passion and apply that in being of service to others. Whatever it is you really, really enjoy, find a way to make that your living. Teach others about love and acceptance, right? This is not about the perfectionistic standards that the 6 has a tendency to set up. Rather, it's learning how to accept everybody where they're at. So resisting that tendency towards judgment is really common with the 6s. Now, if you happen to be a 15-6, this means that not only are you a 6, you're always going to be a 6, right? But you are here to learn the sub-lessons related to the 1 and the 5 so you can be the best 6 you can be. So the lesson that is closest to the slash, okay, is the one that you will feel the most. So you could have been a 51-6. If that was the case, the 1 would be more in your face, right? But in this case, this is a 15-6. So the sub-lessons here are the number 1, which relates to learning how to be a bit more confident, more of a leader, expressing yourself authentically and with an air of creativity. The other sub-lesson of the 5 is learning the lessons related to managing your scattered energy, because you're interested in everything, right? So you have a tendency to kind of have a little bit of this and a little bit of that and scatter your energy all over the place. So the 5 has a huge need for their freedom. So they have to learn how to manage that. The 5 has a tendency to be a little bit, have addictive behavior, so managing the potential for that. Applying yourself in measured ways so that you can achieve the freedom that you want while finding ways to be of service to humanity. That's basically what the 15-6 is all about. Now let's go and take a look now at the 24-6, right? It's not a 15-6. They're not learning the 1 and the 5, right? They are learning the 2 and the 4. So the sub-lessons related to the number 2 relate to learning how to be a little bit more patient, more diplomatic, learning how to be a team player, working in partnership, right? And the 4 lesson is all about focus and discipline, having a plan in place and responsibility. So you can see this is not like the 15-6. The 15-6, the 1 sub-lesson there was all about independence, where in this case, this is about being interdependent, is being in a partnership. And then we look at the 5 of the 15-6. That 5 says, I need my freedom. Whereas the 24-6, that 4 says, yeah, I need discipline. I need a step-by-step approach to life. So the opportunity to be of service is met with the need to create a plan for partnership. So that's why this is standing out a little differently. Now we're going to look at the 33-6, which of course is a master number. How do we know it's a master number? Because anytime we have a number that duplicates itself, says that we are mastering the vibration of that number. It does not mean that we are a master of anything. It says we agreed to come in and master the duplicated energy. So in this case, they have to master the duplicated energy of the sub-lesson related to the number 3. This is overcoming a fear of self-expression using art or possibly music, maybe public speaking, writing, etc. Anything related to expressing yourself. This is the master teacher. It's a difficult life path number. You might check out my video on the 33-6. I do have one created. It's the master teacher who's intended to teach others about unconditional love and acceptance. They're meant to use their words. They're meant to express themselves in ways to teach others to accept everybody for who they really are. Drop the need for judgment. Drop the need for perfectionism. So you can see that all of the ways that I've shown you here to be a 6 are quite different. So it's important that you understand what kind of a 6 life path number are you. Are you ready to learn more? I hope so, because I'd love to have you in my community. I'm teaching numerology in there. We have live classes, live discussions. We've got some recorded classes, all kinds of cool stuff going on in there. We've got master classes, live events every month. We've got oracle card readings, life coaching, dietary coaching. We got everything going on in that group. You've got to check it out. It's $22 a month. You can cancel whenever you like, but I'm telling you, you will find yourself really enjoying this community. I promise you that. There's all kinds of seekers in there just like you who are just trying to figure out what the heck am I here and what am I supposed to be learning. So I hope you'll check us out. You can find out all about it at AnnPerryNumerologist.com, right at the very top, or scroll right down to the very bottom. I've got 2 links in there that you can check it out. But I do hope to see you in there, and I do hope that you are creating your best day ever. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.